What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Redcat Live, episode 146 to be exact. If this is your first time on the show, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you want to stay true and current up to anything Redcat related, you're going to want to make sure to click that notification bell and likes, as my kids like to say.
And subscribe.
Subscribe too.
And if you dislike the video, double click like.
Yes, 2 thumbs up means you really hate the video. So. Three times? Okay. 3 likes makes sure that you really hate it. So, like my kid says at home, listen, like, comment, subscribe. Well, if you want to, right? So, appreciate you guys swinging on by, and we'll say what's up to a couple of the folks. We got some things that we want to talk to you guys about. We're going to go over some things on like setting up a servo winch in your Ascent or Ascent Fusion. We're going to go over the install. We're going to bring Shane in for that. But before we do that, we're going to get some information fresh from the horse's mouth, so to speak. He's the size of one. We have Aaron in the house, Aaron Mathiasen. He came all the way from Wales to visit with us, one of our engineers from overseas, and he's going to kind of run us through the paces today. But before we do that, let's say what's up to some of the guys that are already in the chat. What's going on, Brendan Armstrong? What's going on? He's got firsties. Francisco Garcia representing the 209. Thank you so much for stopping by. El Josef first. Actually, someone beat you to it, I think. Well, someone actually, you know, you're the first on YouTube. So, yeah, you win that one for sure. Skunks Hobbies is in the house. Mr. Robert Campbell, thank you so much for swinging on by. Always representing Block Boys, I see. Appreciate you. Nef Dog 45 is in the house as well. Art Hopper representing Oregon. He's on the Oregon Trail with the wagon.
It's up there.
It's a move for sure. Christopher Adam Cortez, what's going on? Representing El Paso, Texas, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping on by. LaMarcus Bacon, haven't seen you on here in a minute. I want to say, but you always were a regular before. And if I missed you the past couple of times, I'm sorry, but I feel like I haven't seen your name in a while. But thank you so much for stopping by. He says he's at work, but what's up, everyone? Bonafide the Fool says, what's up? Oscar, Drop Zone in the house. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for swinging on by, brother. Kevin Simpson, what's going on, good sir? Playing with Stickers says, what's up from Monster Graphics? What's up, man? How are you, brother? Rex Racer's back again from Kentucky. Always good having you on the show. Thank you so much for that. What's up from 100 Mile House, British Columbia, Canada?
That's north.
Dude, that's up there. Yep. I think that beats.
It's the Great White North.
Yeah, yep, you know.
It's a great place.
I mean,
Have you ever been?
I mean, no, but I hear they got really great maple syrup.
They got more than great maple syrup, let me tell you.
Have you been?
Yeah, multiple times. It's great up there.
I mean, I think you're from up there, right? Isn't Wales right next to it?
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Okay.
About 100 miles.
Just making
About
sure.
100 mile house away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Big RC Garage, what's going on with you, man? Kevin Simpson, what's up with you, man? Thanks for the control arm pins, Kevin Simpson says.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Yes. Darren Collar, what's going on? It says, today, picked up a new Redcat Ascent Fusion. So excited, man. I'm excited for you, bro. Mark Starace, Ohio here. Love the shows.
What?
Love it.
The guy with the Fusion who just got it, have you seen the addendum or the piece that we put out to make sure you check the Loctite?
I mean, everyone knows at this point, but you're right.
Just double check.
Good point. So, guys, anytime that you're buying the Fusion right now, or even in the Ascent, we always recommend you double check the Loctite on those universals in the front. We actually have a email that went out to a lot of folks showing that information, and we actually talked about it on the live show and how to do it. You're going to want to go back. I want to say it might be like episode 141, 142, if I'm not mistaken. Demolisher, what's going on? Oh, that's what DMLSHR is. Demolisher. Thank you for that one, bro. I always messed your name up last time. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Heart Hopper, what's going on with you, man? Let's see. Mark Starace. Okay, yeah, you're just repeating yourself. Got it. Okay. Jesus Martinez is in the house. What's going on, Jesus? Representing Team Yonkers out of San Diego, California, man. These guys are holding it down out there. Did you know that Harry had a big car show? I want to say, I think it was at the San Diego Zoo. Jesus, let me know, was it at the zoo that you guys had that set up? They were going back there like week after week. It was kind of a nice, cool exhibit that they had.
I think I saw some of that on the Facebook group. They'd posted some stuff.
Right. We got Jay Mead in the house. He said he thought you got canned.
Oh, they don't make cans big enough, unfortunately. That'd be dumpstered, and I'm still here, so that's all I'm going to say about that.
All right, I'll take that one. Run That RC, what's up from Arizona, man? He's really far away. So,
could be. It's a big state.
How's Arizona? Is it hot? out there today? Just asking for a friend.
Snow or rain? We had rain the other day. I wonder if he was affected.
He might have been impacted by that, absolutely. Madrigal Custom Turntables, what's going on with your brother, man? Represent the 831, thank you so much for stopping on by. Paul Morales, what's up, brother? Rex Racer says, glad to be here, just got my Ascent Fusion, loving it. Armando Flores is in the house, what's going on, Armando? Masterpieces, what's good with you, brother? He's saying, what's up from Santa Paula. Eric Schneider, you look exactly like a T, like my bro Kent from Chuck. I don't know.
Chuck is a TV show.
Is it?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was like a supermarket, or not supermarket, like a Best Buy thing.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't.
I'm famous. Hey, what? I don't know, but I appreciate it. Hopefully, it's a compliment, not.
It is what it is.
I'll cry myself to sleep later if I have to, but it's okay. We'll see that for another time. Bobby's RC Garages, rcgarages.com, representing Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, if I'm not mistaken as well. Always hitting us with some fire products. Thank you so much for that. Darren Collar, what's going on? How are you? And he says, yes, he was aware of the Loctite issue.
Okay, see, perfect. Just gotta make sure.
Jacob Elkright, afternoon. Hopefully, y'all have a good day. Appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Enlighten RC, what's going on from Georgia? Demolisher. Now I'm never going to get it wrong, I hope. Watch next week and I'll be like, DMS really hard. I hope not. San Diego, SeaWorld at San Diego is where they had that awesome display with exhibit of RC Lowriders. So his son, I believe, was out there as well. Kids were out enjoying the RC scene as well and kind of having a good time with the lowrider scene. So appreciate you guys so much for holding it down and doing a great job at that and just, again, making it fun for everyone involved, man. Kenneth Myers, I see the price went up to $119. I missed the 99 sale on the Ascent 18s. Yes, we actually told everyone that starting May, the price would go up to $119, and we, stay true to our word because we don't want people to call us liars. You know what I'm saying? People, I'm saying, there's some folks in here, so we want to make sure we stay true to our word. But yes, they are $119. So the next shipment that arrives mid-June should be $119 price point. Still not too much more than before at $99.
So it's a fairly good price.
Absolutely. Let's see. Demolisher says, my daughter loves her Gen 8 V2. You had something to do with that, right? You were the guy that put them in the boxes?
Oh, no, I had nothing to do with that. That's a whole nother story.
Chaz Fiver's in the house. What's going on, Chaz? Appreciate you, man. Trey Lip, what's going on with you? Run that RC. He says, hot for sure is where it's Arizona. So I was out there walking a little bit ago, so I'm working on my tan, as you guys can see. Rafael Terrazas, he says, his first time here, man. You want to congratulate him? Do you do the song and dance for him like we do?
Wow, dude, we don't have enough. We don't have enough room. For
I don't think we have enough bandwidth.
No, bandwidth, and if I'm going to dance, I need cardboard on the table. Otherwise, I have a buddy that actually got break dancing incident.
Well, listen, I mean,
ended up paralyzed.
You know how they do the whole
cardboard.
the whole
walk
skateboard.
Oh, fingerboarding.
Fingerboarding, yeah. If we set up a little cardboard display, can you do a little?
Yeah, we can try that next time. Yeah,
finger dancing?
Finger dancing.
I love it.
We can do it.
Lionel Trammell, what's going on with you, man? He says, Nell from St. Louis. In my opinion, pizza.
Okay.
Cool. Rich Westland, Scale Zone in the house from Florida. I love it, man. We're coast to coast now. Little Guy RC Green from St. Louis. Appreciate you as well. Skunks Costume says it's 80 in central Arizona. And the tops drop on the Fox body, he says. So he's cruising this Fox body. Just make sure you pay attention to the road while you're watching the show. I know this face could do that to you. You know what I'm saying? I've been told.
We already had the 17 closed last weekend. We don't need it again, okay?
Right. Vince Vargas is here as well. Thank you, Vince, for stopping by. Mike Harlon, what's going on? He says, what's up, Oscar Ramirez from Nova Scotia, Canada. Man, I love my Canadians, bro. They're cool folks, man. I got to go visit.
Yeah. Their money, it's wild. You've never been, yeah?
Really?
Loonies and Toonies.
Loonies and Toonies.
Yeah.
You're educating me here, okay? Well. I love it. Chris Andrade, what's going on with you, man? He's representing Santa Cruz, California. Let's see here. Rafael Torres says, I'm going to look for that dance.
You're going to be looking for a while.
All right. Vince Vargas says, perfect weather in San Jose. I miss the Bay, man. I miss the weather out there. But let's get into it, guys. Listen, there's a couple things we want to cover here on today's show. So this show is going to be primarily for those guys that want information pertaining to a couple of different things. Primarily, I have Aaron here because Aaron was a big part of the Vigilante, and there's some things that kind of came to mind on last week's episode that we were trying to address, and we want to make sure that we bring some fresh information because we actually were in the talks with hearing about some products that were already in the works, and we didn't want to spill the beans until we knew for sure that they were going to be here and also in our hands to share with you guys. So aside from talking a little bit about the Vigilante, we're then also going to kick him out after that, and we're going to bring Shane in, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to set up your Ascent or Ascent Fusion if you want to install a servo winch onto your vehicle, as well as how to program it with the remote. So don't go too far away. Those are going to be the basis for today's episode. And Aaron, why don't you kind of fill us in a little bit about
what I have over here?
Yeah, what you have over there and what it means.
So, but before we get to this, obviously everybody that's been on the show or been around for a while, or maybe you don't know, we released this wonderful new 5th scale product called the Vigilante. And we've had it out and we've been watching the YouTube videos and it's been doing really good. But just as a reminder, if you have a problem with something, please contact customer service. If there's something that's starting to happen or a trend that's developing, if you guys aren't letting us know about it, we're going to have a hard time fixing it. So if you guys can just, that's with any product, any new product. If you guys don't tell us about it, we're going to have a hard time fixing it.
Absolutely.
And not that there's any problems, but there has been a little bit of we've seen a couple guys with some broken gears, and I think that's what was highlighted on the show last week. So
right, yeah,
we're obviously looking into it.
Right.
So.
There were some guys that had reached out and said, hey, listen, you guys have a problem with your diffs, and to my credit, I stated, listen, based on the information given to me, we have not seen a big trend yet, but if there is, definitely reach on out. Yeah. So what we did, we watched a couple videos based on some experiences that some folks had, looked at what we've seen as far as warranties come in, and definitely didn't match what we're seeing to what is being communicated with us. So like anytime that we have a product and it's a first version of the product, there's always going to be room for renditions. There's a lot of other manufacturers that make 5th scale bashers, 8th scale bashers, or just bashers in general that are now on their 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th version of that, right?
Yep. And we're always looking to improve our products. So anytime there's any kind of a problem and that you feel is like a warranty issue or it shouldn't have happened, please contact customer service. We have a pretty good customer service, I think they say. And then you're giving us that data, and then we can look at the trends, and we're always looking to improve, right? Especially in something new like this that's had, I feel like it's had a pretty positive result so far in the community. We're doing a lot of the right things, and we're always looking to make our stuff better. So if you do see something like the gentleman last week with the diff issue or whatever, just contact us at customer service. You don't have to yell us on the live, please. Just contact customer service. We'll get you taken care of. And then that gives us a tool, that's what customer service is there for. It's a tool to track issues. So if you guys don't tell us about them, and then we get blindsided on here, it kind of stinks. So with that being said, there are some new products here that I have in this wonderful box for that said vehicle.
And just so you know, I did actually put both links as we were talking.
In the thing?
Yeah, so we have them so we can talk about that as well.
Okay, perfect. So, for the folks that are having problems with the gears, just so happens that I have a brand new set here from Vitavon. So these are going to be spiral cut machine steel gears. We just got these in as samples. For those of you guys that are going crazy power and you think that might be an issue, for right now, this is going to be a really good option. You can get them from Vitavon Direct or Exocaged RC, who does some reviews for us and stuff. He's also a dealer, and he has some in stock. So they've got the ring and pinion. They've got some billet aluminum C-hubs, which, like I said, these things aren't necessary. These are just some of the new products. They're continuing to develop new parts for our trucks, and this is kind of like, other than the crawlers, we've had Trio and some other manufacturers, but to be able to get someone else to, jump on board that's well known in the industry for upgrades, it's a big deal for us. So
absolutely,
that's kind of why we're showing this stuff. So CVs, in case you need some really crazy chunky CVs, and then he's also got the a new style all billet steering rack in case you want an all billet steering rack. But we can do a quick little sneak peek at the gears or whatever.
I do have that camera running if you want to use that one.
We can use whatever one you want, sir. So, like I said,
there you go.
He's got the gears here. We can kind of hold them up. You can see them nice Nice spiral cut bevel gears, both the ring and the pinion, obviously. The stock truck comes with straight cut gears, so if this is something that you're interested in, or you're thinking about trying to put it on 12S or run big motor, huge tires, these are things that you're going to probably look into.
Fully locked, landing on full throttle.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, I mean, we can only test so much, right? And then, unfortunately, the community has to do things that we never thought of. Maybe that would be done with the truck, and then we just work on making it better. So for those of you that have had issues, and let us know in customer service, thank you very much. And hopefully the rest of you guys can do the same if you do have any issues that arise. So like I said, but these are, like I said, these are all nice new fancy parts. I just got them in, I think, yesterday. Got them direct from the factory. So, thanks to Vitavon. There's going to be a bunch more stuff of theirs coming out, and we're also working on some stuff as well. So, it's just exciting to see some new parts for a popular platform that was just released. So,
absolutely. And I think there's a lot to be said there. Like you mentioned before, there was a takeaway where it's really awesome to finally see the aftermarket supporting Redcat with a lot of our different platforms. And it's something that, we unfortunately have struggled to see, grow quite a bit, thanks to people like Trail that have been supporting us for some time in making it happen for a lot of products. It's really awesome to see other name brands coming to the table and creating parts for our vehicles. And there's a lot to be said about that. And we're going to be updating our website here very shortly with more websites that carry parts for our products. As we mentioned on last week's episode, we have a parts finder that allows you to see the aftermarket parts that are available for certain models. So that's kind of a big thing for us. And while other companies kind of look at that and kind of frown a little bit because they're offering certain parts depending on how they're labeled and whatnot, hey, listen, we're just happy to be a part of the game and be in the game, for once, and not just, sitting on the sideline and hoping that someone would make something cool for our stuff. Yeah,
no, it was great. They reached out right away, and we're obviously on board with them. They're making sure that they can have the information that they need to make some quality hop-ups. And like I said, they're not the only ones that are going to be making hop-ups. We're going to have some stuff as well. We don't really have any details on that right now, but, and then like I said, if there's any sort of issue with any truck, car, crawler, anything, just make sure you contact customer service. Those guys will get you taken care of. We've got a good group of folks over there.
Absolutely. There was a quick question that came up, and maybe you might be able to help, and we got Shane here just in case, but I have an unrelated question. Why don't crawlers use helical gears as spur and pinion? Is it because the push-pull force of the gears?
Price.
Well,
Price?
Also, they're in line, so you don't really ever.
It's also the way they're lined up.
They're lined up, yeah. So normally, like with these gears, as you're going to see, they are, when you would run a normal ring and pinion setup for like spur and pinion would be like this.
Can you swap that one?
Sure. Would be set up, where they're running in we're running and the gears are meshing like this. Where the spiral cut bevel gears, they're going to run at an opposing angle. So, and then the main reason you would run something like this is it gives you a little bit larger tooth than a straight cut, so there's a little bit more contact area. That way it's a little bit stronger, and then obviously these being machined is going to be a lot stronger than a sintered metal part. So that's kind of what the story is on these. And then these have to be made in pairs basically, or they're made out of one block, or these have to be very precision made, and the tolerances are very tight. So you've got to have them shimmed correctly and stuff like that. So that's kind of why we go straight cut on the pinion and spur gear versus the spiral bevel.
And I want to say there's been some manufacturers in the past in the aftermarket that have supported a different kind of a cut, more of a.
You can do it with the straight cut gears, but you can run them, but it's just not necessary.
Right.
Cost, it's a lot easier to machine that and mold those for plastic parts for like spur gears for crawlers and stuff than it is. It's easier to take it in and out of the mold. Because when you pull something out of a mold, if you guys have been watching the RDS, or not RDS, what's that truck called? We have a little truck, what is it? It does things with the bed.
Oh, the bed dancer?
Yeah, if you've been watching that, maybe you've learned a little bit about how stuff is molded, but when spur gears are molded, it's pressed out, right? So if you had the gears cut like that, you couldn't push it straight out. It would actually have to rotate as it came out. And that's a lot of action in the tool, which would cost a lot of money, and that's another reason why.
Yeah, and Aaron brings up a great point too. So we have a whole nother live that we do before this one on a different page, and this pertains to specifically the bed dancer. Yep. And we've really gotten super in depth with what it takes to create parts, what molding takes.
Basic principles.
Right. 3D printing parts for the purpose of manufacturing and what it takes to really design a car. And we really kind of geek out quite a bit in that setting. And so what you guys get here is really more of a bird's eye view of the explanation. But if you guys want information on that, definitely, their link is in the description of this video to go and pre-order your vehicle and get invited into that group so that we can get you guys up to date on that product itself. But yeah, there's quite a bit that goes into it. I've actually learned quite a bit from what you guys put forth in an engineering fashion.
Yeah, the Matt scientist.
Yeah, and listen, I talked him into wearing a lab coat next week. I don't know if he's going to do it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I got to find him one.
It's like an intro to engineering almost.
A little bit.
I think it is.
It is.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of that teacher. That's like Oscar.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful voice.
He doesn't watch anyway, so I know he's not going to make fun of me for saying that.
No, he never watches.
So, but I appreciate that, guys. So yeah, there you guys go. I mean, as we mentioned earlier in the show, lots of questions. People having some, potential issues. Very limited amount of people so far that we've seen that have actually reached out to us. But the answer so far has been Vitavon has a set of gears available for you guys now and that is usable for the front and the rear.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, it'll work for the front and rear diff.
Awesome. So that is now available. The link to the description on Vitavon's website is in the description of this video. There's also a link for ExoCage because he also has some in stock and available to ship out right now. So make sure that you guys are supporting these guys to the best of your ability. And we hope that these parts are a nice caveat to the upgrowing or the growth pains of
for the guys that want to do the more extreme things, there's stuff coming for you guys, so don't feel left out.
Oh, yeah, he says, Matt Jackson, me, Ben Stein.
Yeah.
So I love it, man. I love it. So, guys.
Speaking of Stein, have you seen his coffee mug?
No, I haven't.
Dude, we'll have to have him bring it on next week. He actually drinks, he's a big Tesla guy, right?
Oh, he is. Yep.
So he only drinks out of the Cyber mug, which is unbelievable in my opinion.
Wait, there's a Cyber mug?
Have you not seen it in there?
Or his fingers in danger?
No, dude. It's I don't know. He's got some connection with Elon.
Does the gas pedal stay stuck on the cup?
Yeah, because he goes through coffee pretty quick in the morning with it.
That makes sense.
So it could be. Yeah.
It's a little accelerated. I think, right?
And that's why he's so caffeinated.
I love it.
That's why we got to do the show in the afternoon when it comes off.
I love it, man. All right, guys. Well, Aaron, thank you so very much for getting us up to date on Vitavon and some of those updates with the Vigilante, as well as the potential things that you might be coming up in the future with, which I'm sure you'll tell us when you're ready.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you. So,
no problem.
We'll swap you out with Shane. We'll bring Shane back in, and then we'll get started on
the
talking.
host with the most?
Yes. And then we'll get started on talking about the Ascent and the Ascent Fusion, how to install and program your servo winch. So, Shane, come on in, brother man. Let's get you started, and let's see if I have any questions that I can answer in the meantime while we're here, comments that I can comment on. Armando Flores says, thank you, Redcat, for the great live. Man, see, I like that. We finally got a good one. Yes. I was really defeated, just so you know. I was feeling like, man, I need to come up with some good stuff. Maybe I'll bring other people with me, and we'll all go down swinging.
Where's yours?
I have mine right here, but when you're ready.
Cool.
Let's see what's up to a couple of folks really quick so I don't forget them. Roadside RC's in the house. Thank you so much for stopping by. Jared Taylor, man, what's going on? East Tejano RC, he says he just made it. Jared Taylor says, need lowrider wagons. I agree. That's a good one. Dean, I don't want to mess your name up. Hiyakamuto, aloha from Wapahu, Hawaii. I hope I said that right. I always trip out because I don't want to mess something up. You know what I'm saying? Because, you don't want to be that guy. Joe Esparza, what's going on with your brother, man? Representing Reefs RC and Delegations RC out of California and Los Angeles, to be specific. Steve Garcia, Las Vegas, is in the house. Thank you so much for stopping by. So, Shane, you're on the show today because we're going to talk a little bit about servo winches. And it's been a question that's come up quite a bit. And in fact, we even had the man, the myth, the legend, Roadside RC, reach out to us and ask us some questions, right? So can you run us through, I guess, the oversight of servo winches and why we're bringing it up on today's show?
Yeah, so pretty much we included a 4-channel radio with the Fusion, and there's a spot on the Fusion's front assembly for you to put a servo winch. So you can basically throw a servo winch on it without really any other option parts, so it works well. So there's pretty much 2 different types of servo winch. Is this camera?
Yeah, I can turn that one on for you.
How much is it zoomed in?
Well, we can zoom it in more if you need to. You can grab it, but it's pretty.
Yeah. So basically, you'll have either one like this, where the spool's actually internal. You can kind of see it in there. Or you'll have one. This might not be the easiest thing to see.
If you flip it upside down, you'll see the spool. You guys
This
see?
one's got like a external spool. This one's a lot more common.
Here, let me
Yeah,
show
here,
you
hold
really
on.
quick. It's because the axle's in the way, but you guys can see the spool on the LP299 reef servo winch that's sitting there. That spool can be a bit of a problem for a lot of you folks in the fact that the spool hangs down really low, and that spool will end up hitting the panhard bar in most cases. The servo winch that Shane was showing, show him that really quick again, eliminates the need for a external spool that kind of hangs down below, and the actual spool is inside housed of the actual servo. So those are the 2 most common servo winches that we've seen in the market, not just by reefs but by other manufacturers as well. And so the question is always like, okay, I just bought an Ascent, whether it's a Fusion or an Ascent 110 scale. So like, what is this something that I need? Do I need a servo winch, Shane?
It kind of depends. It kind of depends on the group you're going crawling with. Depends on what kind of competition you're doing. If you just think it's cool, which is the main reason I have them in my trucks, it's also a little bit extra weight over the front axle, so it could be helpful. We know a lot of people run their battery up front, so if you want to run the battery up front, this wouldn't be for you. But it's about the same amount of weight as a battery, so it would help.
Right. So in this situation, obviously, like my truck, I run a Vitavon radio. It's a whole different setup for that because I've replaced all of the electronics. But this video is going to pertain to those that are still running the stock receiver and radio, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the stock radio is a 4-channel. So the channel we suggest to put it on is a 3-position switch. So it allows you to change the speed of the winch without any crazy winch controller, and then you can pull it in or out. So it's nice to have.
Right. Roadside
You
IC
don't need
says he wants to let you know. He says he's glad that his ignorance could help ideas for the show. No, not at all. Actually, I think if anything, it's something that we've actually seen a little more so recently.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks are like, man, do I need to replace my radio to put a servo winch? And thankfully, when Shane was working on the design work and the groundwork for the Ascent and the Ascent Fusion, one of the wants was to have a radio that can handle doing so, right?
Yeah, that was a big thing. Like, because basically we set up the radio so the hauler has the button on the bottom that's like a 2-position button, and then I've always ran my servo winches on a 3-position switch. So if we can have it on the radio out of the box, that'd be great. So
Absolutely. So do we want to do? I guess we're going to do an install. Is that what we're
yeah,
doing
so this
today?
one's fully stocked, so we can
Okay.
do a full install.
So I'm going to put this over here, and I noticed that you're going to need a tool that you didn't have over here, but I brought one here with you in case you need it. Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I brought it.
Yeah,
Don't
okay,
worry,
good.
I was ready.
Look at you.
I wasn't ready initially, but I brought it.
All right. So do you want me to swap over to that, guys?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So here we go, guys. This is going to be how to install a servo winch, and this one that we're going to do today is going to be with one that has a spool inside of the actual servo itself, not with the spool. But there's not going to be much difference in both installations. They're both going to install the same. The only difference between having one with an external spool that has a spool attached to the bottom of the servo is that you're going to have to space the servo up. So if you guys notice, I actually ended up, I didn't even have spacers laying around, so I had to kind of improvise. But the spacers that I ended up using were actually the ones that you use right here, that you would end up using on your servo itself, right? That you put the screws on here. Take a look here. Move this back a little bit. There we go. You guys can see how I had to space it up, and I want to say it's about 6 millimeter, so that I can clear that panhard on the bottom when it collapses completely. So if you're going to run one with the spool, where you see the spool underneath here, it's always reversed, sorry guys, where you see the spool right there, if you want to avoid hitting that with your panhard, you're you're going to want to space the servo up a little bit. You can buy spacers. Amazon sells a couple different hobby shops will sell you some aluminum spacers that you can use. Again, I just used a couple of the servo mount ones, the Boston, same ones that we use to decorate our cars with. I just stacked, what was it, 3 of them to make it happen.
Then you also want to make sure the spool is actually towards the back of the truck.
Yes, good point too. You want to make sure that spool is towards the facing the back of the vehicle to help with clearance.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. You're rocking right now, and we can make adjustments as you need.
Yeah. All right. So first thing, you just want to take the body off. This one's a little dirty because this is kind of our test vehicle for the most part. So you'll see these cross braces up top. You just got to uninstall those. If you have a regular Ascent, the process is basically the same. Just take off the body mounts that are up here.
So while he's doing that, I'm going to ask Shane a couple questions. So Shane, hot dogs.
Yep.
Is a hot dog considered a sandwich?
Of course.
So then would a taco be considered a Mexican sandwich?
No.
Well, I mean, but what's the difference between a hot dog? Hot dog is a bun. It's got a.
It's all one piece.
I mean, so is a tortilla.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. You got me there.
What do you guys think, guys? Is a taco, should that be considered a Mexican sandwich?
Well, because we're all on the same page that a hot dog is a sandwich.
I mean, I don't know. Is it though?
It is.
I thought it's its own thing.
No, 100%. All right, so where are we at here? All right, so now you can see the crossbars are out. There's this little fancy plate here. If you want to mount a battery here, this is kind of where you'll put it. But we're going to take the 4 screws out of there.
So what I would do is, if you stand up,
Yeah.
and go like this, you can take them off,
Okay.
and it'll.
Might be easier to see.
Yeah, it helps
I
them
don't know
see
if you
it.
want to zoom in a little bit.
Eric Step says, hot dog isn't a sandwich, in my opinion.
Oh, it's okay to be wrong.
Darren Collar says, absolutely not a taco. A taco is a taco.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, see, taco's a taco, but a hot dog's definitely a sandwich.
I'm telling you, there's some folks in here there's gonna be some fighting words here pretty soon, bro. I'm telling you. Double Aaron says there was some court case for that a few days ago. Laugh out loud. Judge ruled that tacos are technically a Mexican sandwich. See?
Okay, well,
I don't know.
I was wrong. Fair enough.
But hold on, but that just because the law says something doesn't necessarily mean it's correct, right? I mean, it's right and wrong, but I mean, is it anatomically correct?
I can't answer that one. I don't know. Anyways, so now we have the little plate out. So,
And obviously, when you guys designed this housing, when you guys designed this section, you guys designed it with the intent of being able to mount a servo here, right? So this cavity opening right here after you move the plate will allow you to mount a servo of some kind in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why the 4 screws are positioned where they are. So we've got this piece out, but now you want to take your body mount out. This is just going to be 2 screws on the Fusion, but with the bumper that comes on the regular Ascent, you'll have 4 screws. All right. So then, I have to take this apart. Got a fancy land anchor I've got to take apart.
Got a nice
here.
land anchor. Okay, so then a torta is definitely a sandwich then.
Honestly, I've never had one, so I don't know.
Oh my gosh, tomorrow we're getting tortas. I'm gonna blow your mind tomorrow. So one and only time I'm not gonna eat a taco and I'm gonna go with the torta instead.
So I've got this fancy like land hook by Artful Dodgers on here, but normally you just take the end of your spool and just fish it through the hole on the Fusion bumper.
Which is another great thing that you guys did with the Fusion bumper, right? Added that. And you can actually fit most standard fair leads in the market on there?
I believe there's a bunch that Amine has that we checked for hole sizing. So So just check there. We know a lot of those work.
Roadside RC says, somebody get Shane a magnetic tray, giving me anxiety over here with those screws laying around. I think
that's
because we've done this so many times and taken these things apart so many times, like we're not too worried.
There's enough screws on the ground that I've dropped before.
I'm telling you, the cleaning people that come in and clean and have to vacuum his area hate Shane.
They don't anymore. I've probably blown up 3 vacuums at this point. You can hear it too. They go over there and it sounds like popcorn's going on. It's great. All the 3D printed stuff.
East Tejano says, yeah, bro, you got to get him one with everything on it. We're going to go with some tortas tomorrow. Eric Estep says, I didn't have an issue with Shane, but his beliefs got me rethinking. A hot dog is its own thing. See?
Well, then a taco has to be its own thing.
I'm changing minds. I love it. Roadside RC says, I jinxed you now. I mean, you made the comment, though, Troy. So
I was also kind of serious about a lot of screws being on the ground. So, we're good.
So, as always, servos are put on 2 or 4 screws, in essence,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, so 4 screws in there, and then you just take that out. So now you have the body mount, and your winch cable is just kind of sitting there. So what me and Oscar have done.
Well, I actually ended up taking mine off completely when I remounted my body, but yeah.
Well, if you have the stock body on, so you can Dremel a little half moon into the body mount versus the stock one. You just Dremel a little half moon in there.
And that works like a really nice guide for that cable, that fairly cable that comes out. And this way it also kind of allows it to not fray on that plastic any.
All right, and as far as actually assembling it, that's pretty much it. So now we'll get into the radio settings.
Do you want to finish installing it, or do you always drive around with no shocks connected in the front?
Oh, okay.
I'm just asking for
hold
a
on,
friend.
hold on.
I got to put you on the spot because, you know what I'm saying? Like, folks are going to be like, you really going to drive it like that, bro? You're a savage.
So then let's bolt chocks back on and get the cross braces back on.
Joel's partner says, to me, it doesn't matter. I eat both and I love them.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, if it's free, it's for me.
Well, you don't know yet, but tomorrow you're paying.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm taking you to my spot, you know what I'm saying? It's like letting you into the cool kids club, you know? It's kind of like Cheers, where everyone knows my name, but they don't. I walk in there and I'm just like, I'm Oscar from Redcat, and they're like, who are you?
That has worked once.
Hey, one time.
I've seen it in person. I know, you're the guy from the lines.
Playing with Sticker says, I don't know why you tripping. Shocks are for another episode.
He's right, he's right.
All right, guys. So assuming that you guys have, installed the servo winch in its location, as we've shown you guys here, and you are finishing assembling all the screws that you took off and putting everything back together, we're going to start running you guys through where to plug it into your receiver, and then what it takes to make it actually work.
Put this on because I got the fancy thing.
That's kind of nice. I like that setup.
Very cool.
Who made that?
Artful Dodger.
R4 Dodger?
Artful.
Artful Dodger. Got it.
Yeah, he makes a lot of conversion kits for some other brands. He doesn't quite have an Ascent one yet. Maybe soon. Who knows? But he's got a cool hook.
Chaz says, I don't know if you're gonna be able to handle all that flavor.
Man, sometimes milk is a little spicy, so we'll see.
Milk is spicy for this guy, just so you know.
Terrible.
Inside joke.
Okay.
All right.
So then, before you plug in the servo, we're gonna go through some stuff on the radio first, just so you don't pull your winch all the way in and start breaking stuff.
So you want to?
So yeah. So with the radio on, if you click the bind button twice, you'll see the green light on here goes to 2, and then if you hit it again, it'll blink 3 times, and then you want to go one more to channel 4. So now you got four blinks on the green light. That means you're adjusting the endpoint and the trim on channel 4. So we're just going to take the...
Back it up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe go forward, actually. Okay. So where you have channel 4, you're just going to switch it to one side, and then on your EPA, go all the way negative and just hold it until the light stops flashing. This will zero out the EPA, so your winch just doesn't go crazy when you plug it in. Same with, you then go forward on the switch, and then go to your EPA and go all the way negative until the light stops blinking on the top.
Which you just did, okay.
And then you're full 0. So now,
And you should do that before you plug in the servo winch.
before you plug in the servo winch,
Okay.
I do it with the car on. It works easier. So, just in case, because sometimes you can have it accidentally one side, and then your winch is so strong it breaks the front of the truck. So then, you're going to plug it right into here, which says channel 4. And that might not be good.
You go like that. Where is it? There. Where is the...
It's
Oh, there we
close
go.
to the front. Yeah, so there's a channel 4 position. You just want to plug it in there. Just be mindful about where the sensor plug portion of it is.
And it's going to be the very last one. Got a zip tie in the way. There we go.
Yeah, you're good.
Right there. It'll be the last one at the end, number 4.
So now,
And if there's enough of a want, I'm sure, well, Roadside or Sue's probably going to make a really cool video about this anyways. But we can always probably do a video
yeah,
showing it as well if we need to for the masses.
yeah, a little closer on the camera maybe.
Okay.
Well, I ment for the video.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So now, radio's on. I'm gonna turn the car on. All right. So now you got your servo winch, and just make sure channel 4 when you switch it that it doesn't do anything. And then you're gonna switch it one direction, and then just start turning up your EPA a little bit, and eventually it'll start moving. You can actually change your speed with the endpoint. So you can see it's, let me bring this into frame a little bit more.
It's going super slow.
So it's going pretty slow. But if I do this, so I'm switching it the other way and increasing the EPA, you can see it's going pretty slow. But if I increase the EPA, it starts to go a lot faster. Same with going backwards. If I start increasing the EPA, it starts going a lot faster. So you can use your endpoint adjustment as like a speed if you got a really fast servo. This one's an 800, so it's extremely strong, but it's not super fast. The 299 like Oscar has is going to be way faster, but not as much torque. On an Ascent, you really don't need that much torque. It doesn't weigh that much. So like a 299 or a, what's the other one? Is it a 300?
300, right?
Yeah, the LP. Something
Oh, the 299?
299 LP, yeah. So those are all great. And that's pretty much it. So yeah.
So again, that's kind of good food for thought, guys. EPA will, in essence, give you the speed that you want, that you're comfortable with using your winch. A lot of guys that are competing are going to want to go super fast, but I've also been in competitions in 2 comps where their servo is going so fast, and when you're fighting yourself in a competition, because you're beating yourself, you're not beating anyone else, and that your best time wins, obviously, but it's you and your truck, and sometimes going really fast could kind of be a disaster waiting to happen. I've seen it happen way too many times. People get the jitters and they go a little too far. So pick a speed, an EPA setting that you're comfortable with, depending on the servo winch that you're using. I'm sure there's a couple other brands that sell servo winches out there. Of course, we use Reef's RC ones because that's what we have ourselves installed on our vehicles. If we had other ones, we'd be happy to show you guys some other ones. But the process is going to be the same when it comes to installing and programming that servo winch.
So they'll all pretty much be the same. There are some winches that come with like a winch controller, and I haven't really ever messed with those, so I don't know how the process is on those.
I did. In fact, I have a. In fact, hold on. I'll show you. I have a aftermarket winch that I installed on my Marksman. And this is more for those guys that want more of that scale look to your winches. And those usually come with some form. Oops. Don't do that.
Oscar might have just dropped the truck.
Right. With some form of a controller, right? So, so this is my Marksman. Grab that truck really quick if you can. So this is my personal Marksman, and I installed a 8 scale winch on the front, right? Something to kind of make it, kind of give it that look, but I want it functioning, right? And this is before we started offering radios that had a 4-channel, but a winch like this usually comes with a form of a winch controller that you can use. That winch controller, you guys can see I have it sitting right here, where the winch plugs directly into it, and then from here, it gets its, right there, and it gets its servo plugs into that, and then from there you have a servo wire that will connect to whatever port that you have open on your receiver to use to supply power. In this situation, what I did was it came with a controller, a winch controller, which you guys can see right there, and you got forward and backwards, and I just double sticky taped it right there so that I can control it with one hand, so I can still do what I need to do controlling the winch, right? So again, lots of options out there. Obviously for the Ascent, the servo winch is definitely the way to go because it hides it, right?
Way easier.
And it's definitely more of a truck that's not a scale like a super scaled out truck, right? If you want more of a scaled out truck feel, obviously this is going to be more of your kind of setup where you have an external controller of some sort, unless you have a radio that can house that, right? But if you're talking about an Ascent or Ascent Fusion, the way we showed you guys will definitely be the way to go for your future use.
Yep.
All right.
And if you get one of these cool land anchors, there's plenty of different like styles of this. Most of the servo winches on the market will come with like a little D-ring hook, pretty much. But it can just like sit on the crossbar.
Right. I actually seen
in
a
the
lot. I've seen a lot of guys where they'll get this and they'll attach like 3 inches or 4 inches of a bungee strap from there to the end of the land anchor, and this allows you to go here and you can just literally just stretch it to put it on, so you don't have to release it from your remote. And then it also gives you a little bit of give as well as needed, but definitely find what works best for you guys as far as land anchors. I personally like to use 300-pound test line, fishing line, as my line. It works great. I feel like a lot of the stuff that comes factory with a lot of these servo winches are like a nylon wrapped around stainless steel braided line of some sort, and over time that'll wear up against the rocks, and that 300-pound test line has done amazing for me in years. So I've never had to replace one since, using that. It's really hard to break at that, but we hope the information we've given you guys is helpful. We went over, for those of you guys who are just jumping on now, some upgrades that Vitavon is now offered for the Vigilante. We went over some things that we're working on as well. We also went over the meat and cheese of the actual show, which is highlighting the Ascent and the Ascent Fusion on how to install that servo winch. And Shane, obviously, awesome as he is, was able to share with us how to make that happen and how to program it. So we hope that it's beneficial to you guys, and we hope that it brings you guys some success on the trails as well.
Yep, pretty much.
What else can you share? What do you got coming out next? What are you working on?
Stuff and things.
Yeah, anything cool that I should know about? What about that cool thing that you were going to show me, but you didn't want to show me because you were afraid I was going to say it on the show? What is that?
The paint job that's back there?
No, that really awesome, cool thing that you're working on that you won't let me see.
I can't tell you. We don't show Oscar some things because he likes to leak stuff.
Yeah, I'm a leaky faucet sometimes. But guys, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so very much for all of you guys' comments, likes, shares. Actually, let me double check, make sure I didn't miss any questions.
There's one second to last.
Let me see.
Keep going, keep going.
Andrew Surrey says, hey, Exocage got in Vitavon gears. Exactly. We mentioned that earlier on the show. And there's a link in the description of this video for Vitavon directly and Exocage's website directly to buy those gears and some of those parts for the Vigilante. Foreign Sean, what's going on, big brother? How are you, brother? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you and the family are doing awesome. He says, Drop Zone's in the building. Oscar, thanks for showing love to the new DZ logo. Much appreciated. Man, appreciate you, man. Thank you for everything you're doing out there, man. Keep holding it strong. Wishing you and yours the best, brother. Drew Goodell says, thank you for the winch info. I'm about to get an Ascent Fusion soon. So that's awesome. Appreciate that. Thank you, Drew. Rusty Wheeler says, any portal upgrades available for the Fusion that you know of?
Portal upgrades in what context? Gears are already metal. So that's pretty much it. Awesome. So since the front gear is CNC'd onto the main universal, can't really change that gear. But yeah, if there's an idea out there, let us know.
Absolutely. You know, we're always a kind of company, since I've been here anyways, I've noticed that we've always been that company that we're always keeping our ears down to, to the ground, making sure we're hearing you guys out. And if there's something that stands out that is doable within our realm, that doesn't get in the way of our, calendar for what we want to release and work on, we're always willing to visit that and see if we can make it happen. Aaron, Double Aaron wants to know, can you break your NDA for me?
No.
I'll buy you a torta tomorrow if you tell me what you're working on.
No, I've never had one. I don't know if it's good or not.
Jeez, of course you have one.
What?
Everyone does.
Well, no, I don't know.
Am I the only one that had an NDA?
No. I've never had a torta.
I'm done. You know what? Whatever. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys, man. Hope you guys have a good, safe rest of your week. Any bodies for the Ascent 18?
Just the current one.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware.
Rusty Wheeler says, how about hubs or C-hubs for the Ascent?
So the Ascent's all like a one-piece front axle, so you can't change the C-hubs. They're kind of as they are. Trio does make a full aluminum axle.
Which actually are on that truck if you want to show them really quick.
Let's switch over to the...
Those are the Trio axles on my personal Ascent. I call it the poor man's Fusion because it's really not, because I put everything on it that you could before we dropped the Fusion.
It's got all the prototype frame rails.
Let's see here. But yeah, those are very beefy. They work really well. And Trio also makes some brass upgrades that will give you a little bit more weight down low as needed as well. So it just depends on how you want it,
Yep.
Any word on new ground pounder coming soon?
That's the monster truck, right?
That's the monster truck, yeah.
Not currently.
Okay. Teddy West B, what's up with your brother, man? Block Boys in the house. Appreciate you, man. Chino Nazareta, what's up, Chino? How you doing, bro? Out there representing Delta RC in Antioch, California. Love it, man. I appreciate you. All right, guys. With that said, we appreciate you guys. We're going to go ahead and leave you guys with that. Hopefully, as I mentioned, this episode was informative to you guys and something that you guys can use in the future. If you like what you see and this is your first time on the episode, please like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. We'll see you guys here next week, same time, same channel. And I don't know, maybe this guy will be crossing the veil with a torta in his hand. I don't know. We'll see if I can talk him into it, but we'll see. We'll get him cultured a little bit, but appreciate you guys. You guys have a great, safe weekend. For a lot of you guys, it's a 3-day weekend, so make sure you guys are enjoying yourselves, RC related or not. And if you do happen to enjoy your RC Redcat related product this weekend, make sure you tag us on Instagram and Facebook to hopefully make sure we can reshare your content. Till next week, we appreciate you guys. You guys stay safe. Peace.